Bognor, a stuffed wombat production.
This is the Shirehampton Stuffed Wombat Society, boldly going where no wombat society has gone before, with their performance of Bognor. Our story starts late one evening as two men in their late 50s stumble across an unlit park after a night spent in their local pub. It's a cool, clear evening, and the stars of the Northern Hemisphere fill the sky above them. And I still haven't forgiven you for that trick you played on me after I fell asleep in the deck chair. Jolly unsporting of you.
Oh, come on, it was only a bit of harmless fun. I thought you knew you talked in your sleep.
Well, clearly not. Little bugger, making me think I was still dreaming.
Princess Freckles sounded fascinating, though. You must have mumbled her name at least 5 times.
I'll never know. Like most dreams, I forgot the details almost as soon as you woke me up. I'll forgive you, so long as you promise not to play that kind of trick on me again.
Promise. Scout's honour.
Oh, crumbs, I must have had more to drink than I thought. Those stars up there seem to ripple in a most peculiar way.
It'll be atmospheric turbulence. That's what causes them to.
What was that thud? It sounded like something heavy landing right behind us.
You're imagining it. Look, there's nothing behind us. See? Ouch!
Are you okay? What happened?
I walked into something.
But there's nothing there.
I can see that, but I can't see... This is most confusing.
Good evening.
What?
I said, good evening.
Good evening. Where did you come from?
What, just now or before we landed?
I think the just now bit for now. I'm not sure we're ready for the other answer yet.
Quite so. It probably wouldn't mean anything to you anyway. And to answer your question, I came from the door around the other side.
You mean gate? The gate on the other side of the park?
No, I mean the door on the other side of the spaceship. Look, it'll save a lot of time and distress for all concerned if you come with me. I really don't want to, what's the word? Oh yes, shoot you.
Ah!
Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you. Tranquilise might have been a better choice of word.
We surrender.
Look, chaps, I simply need you to accompany me. Nothing more than that.
You mean we're not being kidnapped?
No.
And we're not going to, have things stuck up. I mean, we're not going to be probed.
No, not unless you really want to be.
That's a relief.
Well, come on, follow me. My colleague is dying to meet you. Welcome aboard. What do you think?
It's more like a small, trendy tea room than a spaceship. Those armchairs look very comfortable. Where are all the controls?
You've watched too many sci-fi films. You have self-driving cars, so why wouldn't you have self-driving spaceships? Computers are far more capable of getting you from A to B than any carbon-based life form. They're great at reading maps too, so no need to stop and ask for directions.
Okay, what about a view screen?
Have you any idea how big space is? Your chances of seeing anything change are pretty much zero. You may as well have a black canvas with a few white dots on hung on the wall.
Ah, hello. So you didn't tranquilise them? That's going to make probing them a bit tricky.
Well, I thought we could do it now they're on board and we've locked the doors.
Ah!
Oh, gets them every time. Nice one, Bill. High five.
Oh, very funny.
Gentlemen, can I bring you some tea? I think we have some stollen cake left over from Yobber Day too. Or was it the previous Yobber Day?
Yobber Day?
Of course. You won't have Yobber Day on Earth. Think of it as our equivalent of Christmas. You know, too much to eat and drink, family arguments, and nothing good on the telly. No one actually remembers or cares who Yobber was nowadays.
Ah.
Tea would be splendid. I'll pass on the stolen cake, though.
Yes, tea please, with 2 spoonfuls of ketamine. Can I ask, is this another of my dreams? Have I passed out in the park? Mugg?
Sorry, can't help, old boy. I'm having this weird dream about being kidnapped by aliens.
Look, As I explained earlier, we're not kidnapping you.
But you speak such good English. Don't tell me English has been adopted as the galactic lingua franca. This isn't Hollywood, you know.
No, of course not. We normally communicate between ourselves in our own language using the iThought facility.
You mean telepathy?
Not really, it's actually an add-on to the iPhone Model 342. Think of it as a really advanced AirPod. What model iPhone have you currently got on Earth?
13, I think.
I better set a reminder to send Tim Cook the designs for the iPhone 15 then.
Wait, what? Are you suggesting that all the iPhone designs come from you?
That would certainly explain why Apple are so successful. Is Tim Cook an alien too?
Of course.
And there I was, suspecting Bill Gates might not be what he seemed. Crumbs.
Get in! Ah, 1-1. Nice one, Ben. Well worked. High five.
Look, will you stop making fun of us and tell us what's going on? For a start, where did you learn your English?
From your radio transmissions. Well, not yours personally, the Earth's, of course. We're big fans of those Shirehampton Stuffed Wombat Society productions. That's where we learned most of it, old boy.
Well, that explains it then.
Really?
No, of course not. I mean, why us? Why here? And why our favourite radio show? This can't be down to coincidence. Wait, they're pulling our leg again.
And it's off the bar and out for a goal kick.
Actually, the radio transmission bit is true. We picked up our accents from... Oh, well, you'll find out soon enough. Look, we're almost home now, so...
Come on, pull the other one. First of all, you speak perfect English. Then there's the fact that you look as human as, well, any other human. Now, this is some student ruse.
We can look like ourselves if we want to. We simply pull out our cocks.
That's the chromatic optical confusticator, or cock for short. We love our knob jokes just as much as the next species. It's a universal source of childish amusement.
OK, go on then, pull out your cocks. I'm not falling for another of their sodding jokes.
Don't say we didn't warn you. I'll pull it out of its socket.
Good grief.
What?
You both look like...
Elvis.
Well, that's hardly surprising, given that we kidnapped and cloned him just before he died.
But don't step on my blue suede shoes. Thank you very much.
We both descended from that original clone.
So the conspiracy theorists were right all along.
They think it's all over. It is now.
You buggers, will you stop this? Show us what you really look like.
OK.
You!
Happy now?
All right, we believe you. Could you go back to the original look, please? I'm feeling rather nauseous.
Certainly.
Right, follow me. The exit's this way.
But we've only been on board for about 10 minutes.
Don't tell me. You've got a base on the dark side of the moon, or...
Well, first, there isn't a dark side of the moon. Only the one you can't see from Earth. And second, you aren't taking into account the travel options afforded by wormholes. We're roughly 18 light-years from Earth now. Come on, the welcoming committee will be waiting.
So where exactly are we then?
Does it matter? If we told you the name, would you be able to point up to the night sky and go, that's where such and such is? No, probably not. Anyway, if it helps, the nearest word, phonetically speaking, to where we are is, well, Bognor.
Bugger off.
No, really, Bognor.
Come on, the reception party hasn't got all day. Hurry up.
Well, of course they haven't. Hey, oi, won't I need a spacesuit?
Well, this is rather underwhelming. We've supposedly travelled 18 light-years to somewhere that resembles the arrivals hall of a small regional airport, and a pretty shabby one at that.
We can let you see it as it really is, but then again, I'm not too sure you'd be all that comfortable.
It's a cock thing again, isn't it?
Indeed, but a massive cock, given the amount of work it needs to do.
Come on, it's through this door.
You mean the one marked cavity search facility.
Sorry, we've already done that joke, haven't we? Note to self, change label to something like VIP Lounge. Go through, have a seat. Ben, will you do the honours and fetch the client?
Back in a tick.
Right, I'm not falling for this one, though I'm blowed if I can figure out what joke you're lining up.
Ah, Timothy, dear boy, they found you.
Crikey! Great Uncle Bartholomew! What on earth?
You mean what in Bognor?
What? Yes, but...
Well, that at least clears up the first concern.
Concern?
Yes, concern. We couldn't be certain that Bartholomew here was who he claimed to be. He might have a bigger, better cock than we do. So, you must be Timothy Mugg, then.
What?
Should I take the other one back, then?
I do have a name, you know.
And what's that, then?
Dick Zung.
Nice try, but we're not fooled that easily. That's a made-up name, isn't it?
What? No. Look, why did you bring us both here in the first place? Why didn't you simply kidnap him?
Thanks a bundle.
As I keep reminding you, this is not a kidnapping. To be clear, we couldn't be sure which one of you was Timothy, so we brought you both. All of you aliens look the same to us.
On behalf of mankind, we resent that. We are all unique and clearly very different.
If you say so. Anyway, can we get on and take the DNA sample now?
Why would you need to bring us all the way here to take a DNA sample? Why not simply swipe one from the glass I used down the pub?
Don't you have privacy laws where you come from? That would be highly unethical here. Besides, your consent has to be witnessed by Bartholomew's and Bognor's legal representatives. Your visual identification of Bartholomew alone isn't sufficient to confirm his identity. For your information, both sets of legal representatives are watching this interview on a live video feed.
Do we have your consent?
Yes. After all, it isn't exactly going to hurt, is it? Ouch!
Done.
That really hurt. Couldn't I have just spat in a test tube? You didn't need to stab me with that huge hypodermic needle.
We needed a subcutaneous sample just to be sure there was no room for trickery.
Well, you could have warned me. Look, I still don't understand why you need to confirm his identity.
Well, he's up for parole, isn't he?
How stupid of me, of course. Why didn't I know that?
Sorry, I'm a bit slow on the uptake here. Mugg, I thought you told me that Bartholomew was trapped in a parallel universe where the laws of physics wouldn't let him come back. You know, the one populated by ageless, beautiful women that kept men as pets.
Yes, I see the flaw in the story now.
Sorry, dear boy, I didn't want anyone following me and spoiling my fun. That's why I sent the message. I have to say I was surprised you fell for my little deception.
I forgive you. But where are all the beautiful women you mentioned? I don't care much for Bill and Ben here, even if they did use their cock thingy to change their appearance.
That would be because you didn't intend to end up in Bognor, did you, Bartholomew?
So why is he here and not in that other place he talked about?
That's because we arrested him.
Why? I can't think of anyone more harmless than Great Uncle Bartholomew.
He landed his spaceship right on top of the governor's Palmo. It was very distressing for everyone present.
You mean he squashed someone's greasy dinner?
Disgraceful! He killed someone!
There must have been bechamel sauce and cheese everywhere. Wait, what? He killed someone?
Perhaps Palmo has a different meaning where you come from. On Bognor, it's a contraction of partner's mother, which is a bit of a mouthful, I think you'll agree.
Crumbs, Great Uncle, did you really land on someone's mother-in-law?
Ah, that's your word for them, is it? Yes, he certainly did.
I said I was sorry, dear boy, but they were adamant it was my fault.
Yes, he was charged with causing death by reckless space traversal.
But as I explained, I merely mistyped the coordinates.
You probably did, but you were distracted, weren't you? Looking at the glands on that human in the printed material on the seat next to you. It had a title on the cover. What was it now?
The Sun, I seem to recall. Yes, it was found open at page 3.
Great Uncle, I thought you were a Daily Telegraph man.
Oh, Timothy, please forgive me, dear boy.
Right. Now we've got that part out of the way, we can get on with the parole hearing.
Have they really had you locked up all this time?
Yes, but it wasn't all that bad. They do have passably good cakes, and I introduced them to tea.
Well, obviously that makes being incarcerated for 10 years all the more bearable.
And I got all the TV channels galaxy-wide. You wouldn't believe this one. Something called Naked Attraction.
We know.
Oh, is it one of ours?
Yes.
This little reunion is all very touching, but we need to get you to his hearing. Follow us, chop chop.
OK, you three sit there. The presiding judge will join us shortly. In the meantime, can I introduce your advocate, Professor Freckles, Head of Interstellar Law at the University of Rapine, here on Bognor.
Crumbs. She's got a very big...
Yes, I can see.
In fact, she doesn't have much else other than that.
Just one huge head. No arms, legs or body to speak of.
Another advantage of having such a large head, apart from being hugely intelligent, is that I can hear exceptionally well. Now, I assume you still want me to represent your great-uncle at this hearing.
Yes, but...
I'll save you asking the question you're going to ask by saying, why would I need much in the way of a body when I simply hover at my desk all day studying?
Oh, I suppose.
All rise for His Honour, Judge Fredber of Ledura.
My lord, may we present the case for releasing Bartholomew Mugg on parole?
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honour. No doubt you're aware of the details of my client's conviction. You may also be aware that he's now served 10 years of his 20-year sentence and is therefore by rights allowed to apply for parole.
Indeed.
During his confinement, Bartholomew Mugg has been a model client.
Client?
Shh! No one's a prisoner these days. They're all clients of the prison service. Far less pejorative than being called an inmate. Less stigma attached, as it were.
Oh, very modern.
Indeed, during his residency,
Don't tell me you don't call it incarceration either.
he has introduced the clients of Bognor to many new foods and beverages. You'll almost certainly have heard about the tea mania now sweeping the planet. And as for his chicken vindaloo, well, I think we've all benefited from its decongestant properties, so to speak.
Quite so.
In light of his exemplary behaviour and his service to the wider Bognor community, we humbly request he be considered for release on parole.
Parole.
Yes.
What?
Will you release the client on parole? What's your decision?
Off with his head.
What?
My lord, this is a parole hearing. Remember, we don't cut off people's heads anymore. Not even for posting cat videos on social media.
No, right? Off with his bosom.
My lord, may I be so bold as to suggest that we go...
He's a bit senile now.
He's been around for a rather long time. How old is he now?
5.
Goodness, as old as that. He didn't look a day over 4.
Hear my decision. The client will...
That went quite well, I thought.
Yes, all in all, it could have been a lot worse. I'll be grateful to leave Bognor with all my limbs intact.
I can't say I'm overjoyed at the prospect of having my memory wiped, though. But then again, I won't remember it happening, so, what difference will it make?
Still, it's a bit tough on your great-uncle. Confiscating his space machine is one thing, but wiping his memory of how to build one is quite another.
His travelling days are probably over anyway. I gather they're going to drop him off at the Sir Clive Sinclair Home for Retired Inventors. They said they'd cover his fees for the rest of his life too, so there's a silver lining after all.
What I don't quite understand is how we're going to account for being away for so long. Poor old Sparkle would have starved to death while you've been away.
Well, according to Bill and Ben, we'll arrive back mere seconds after we left. They said it has to do with time dilation when travelling through wormholes. They did show me the maths involved in quantum loop gravity, but frankly, they could have been speaking Chinese.
Well, it'll be nice to be home. I think this cock thing is wearing off, and I'm beginning to see some rather unsavoury parts of reality here.
Good idea putting the tranquilizer in their tea.
How else are we going to give them a good probing, though?
We'll leave them here, shall we?
Perfect. Come on, we need to get back. Love Island's on tonight.
Good call. Quick, I think they're coming round.
Oof, my head. How much did we drink?
No idea, but it's not my head that hurts. Did we go out for a curry too?
Must have done. Crumbs. That really smarts. I think I've got some cream at home that'll soothe the stinging.
Mugg?
Yes?
I have the strangest feeling that we were abducted by aliens.
Me too. But is anyone going to believe us?
Probably not. Probably not. Oh, look out for the huge depression in the grass. Wah! Bognor was written by Tim Reed and starred Richard Hall as the announcer, Alien Bill and Dick Zung. Tim Reed was Timothy Mugg, Alien Ben and Great Uncle Bartholomew. Hazel Hall was Professor Freckles and Freddie Gorton was Judge Fredber. Sound effects were courtesy of the Bognorian Ministry for Culture, Media and Warfare, and it was a stuffed wombat production.